So here I am, back in the main room of the dungeon, and Tattle has some information for us. You see, we can kind of see that shrine below, and Tattle's pointing out an unlighted torch. So I think you can figure out what to do. Pull out the bow and arrow, shoot it through the fire to light the torch. All the water will suddenly become not poisoned anymore. And then the flower will start flying up to the middle of the room. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So the next thing we want to do is, while we're upstairs, we want to get to this area. Ooh, fairy in a bubble. Fairy in a bubble. Okay, we saved the fairy in a bubble. And you'll notice we have a torch here, which is also not lit. And there's a switch behind that torch. Can I jump to the switch? Okay, let's try. Geronimo! Oh, I didn't make the jump. It's okay, I wanted to do that anyway, because now that I'm here, remember this area? The first room, well, the only room with a locked door? You might remember that there was a fairy here, a fairy which was also trapped inside a bubble. So pop the bubble with your bow and arrow in order to free the fairy. There we go, fairy freed, and you might have noticed that there's something on the ceiling. Yes, it's one of those brown things, so shoot it! And you get a... Wait, that's not a fairy. That's not a fairy! Run away, Link! Run away, run away! That's a hornet! Link, no! Ah! Okay, inside the water. Take refuge inside the water. Hornets cannot swim. Wait, they can swim? When did this happen? Oh, this is so not fair. Okay, so what I meant to do was hit this brown thing on the ceiling. Not the one that has a hornet, hit the one that has a fairy inside. Okay, much better. It's kind of interesting how there are different types of fairies in this game. I mean, obviously, the fairies we've been rescuing are not the same kind of fairy as Tattle. I wonder why that's the case. Oh well. Now I'm going to get back up to the second floor of the temple. And, you know, right before I went on my fairy quest, I was trying to make a jump to a torch. And, you know, now that I think about it, perhaps I shouldn't jump to the torch. Perhaps I should fly to the torch. With the pixie power from the fairies! Just like in Peter Pan. That would be awesome. Except that's not what I mean. I mean you're going to fly as a Deku shrub using the Deku flower. Using the Deku flower, you can fly to the switch, which is what you were supposed to do. And when you step on the switch, we get a treasure chest. And inside the treasure chest is a great fairy. Nice diving skills, Link. You can do a swan dive. Okay, so this is going to be the last fairy, right? How many fairies do I have? 11. Okay, so the other 4 fairies are all going to be in the room right before the final boss fight. So let me get to that room right now. Remember that unlit torch? Right by the switch I just stepped on. Where is it? Where could it possibly be? There. Okay, this unlit torch. So what you want to do is stand on the flower and light it by using an arrow. Lighting it will open the door to the boss room. Or that is, it will open the door to the room before the boss room. You know what I mean. So I'm going to go to that room now. Now this room has an interesting setup. As you can see by the dungeon map, there are 6 little things just stuck in the wall. Little alcoves, and you can travel from alcove to alcove by means of Deku flowers. You might notice there's a switch over there. I think I'll point it out later. You probably didn't get a good view. Switch right over here. You can use the switch to put out those fires. Those fires you can see in the distance. That's going to become important later on. Just thought I'd point it out now. Meanwhile, I'm just getting all the fairies. And I refill on magic. Very nice. So that's what happens when you go to the alcove area to the right. You get 2 fairies. And when you go to the left, you get 1 fairy. And of course you get to where you're supposed to get to. So yes, keep flying, keep flying, keep flying. And here at the top we have a fairy. And it looks like that last fairy is hiding inside a bubble. Inside the fire? Well, it's a good thing she's inside that bubble, otherwise she'd get burned up by the fire. Okay, save the fairy. Might want to destroy that dragonfly that's in the way too. Save the fairy. Do-do-do-do! Yeah, we just saved the fairies. And now I'm going to hit the switch. And there are 2 ways to get through this area, so I'm going to try the difficult way rather than the easy way. The difficult way is to reach that flower right over there. You can kind of see it. You're going to have to fall off this and then fall backwards to land on the flower. It's really difficult, and most likely you're just going to fall off like this and land in the water. But if you can do it correctly, like this, you can reach the flower, and then just fly across through this area. Fly over here to this flower, which was covered in fire. Fly from that to on top of this building right over here. Wait a minute. No, Link, land on the Link, no! Oh! Okay, I messed up. Okay, let me try that again. Now, the easy way to get through this area is simply to fly to the first platform of fire, and then jump to the flower from there. I'll show you how to do it now, but I want to make up for the fact that I messed up earlier, so I'm going to show off a little bit. I'm going to see if I can make the jump by getting hit by the Skulltula. Check it out. Alright, I did it. Normally, you're just supposed to fly to this pillar, but it looks a lot cooler when you get knocked onto the pillar. Don't you agree? Okay, so fly to the pillar, then jump to the flower here, and then fly from this flower to the area that I was flying to earlier. Now fly across the pillars of fire, to the flower on the second pillar, then fly from there to the top of the building on the far side of the room, which has a flower on top, and you can fly from this flower to the boss door, which is right over there. And of course, behind the boss door, we have the very spooky evil boss of the dungeon. The boss which is making all those weird sound effects in the background of this video. No, it wasn't me making all those weird sound effects, it was the boss. And here he is now. His name is Odolwa. I have no idea how to pronounce his name.